Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Encountering humans frequently, animals never miss an opportunity to leave them bewildered, from surprising maneuvers to strange behaviors. They always keep the people on edge with their shocking traits, which would be impossible to believe if not captured on camera. Shark rescue. Stranded on the shoreline for a long time, the shark was at the mercy of the people, but scared of its predatory skills. No one was daring to go near it. And that's when this brave man showed his heroic skills, as not waiting for the rescue squad, he single-handedly managed to grab the shark and dropped it in the deep waters, where there were less chances of it being stranded again. Not scared of the shark, watch how he's holding it even in the high tides, waiting for its recovery before sending it back. Gorilla saves boy. This nightmarish turn of events took place in the Cincinnati Zoo, where a 3-year-old boy accidentally fell into a 6-meter deep gorilla enclosure. While the onlookers feared brutal behavior from the adult gorilla standing near the unconscious boy, they witnessed something strange. Because despite being given the opportunity, he did not hurt the boy, and even left the area, taking the fellow apes along with him to let the zoo authorities rescue the poor boy. One such event took place in another Chicago zoo, where a toddler fell into the cave, but was surprisingly rescued by the female gorilla. Dead shark gives birth. Hauling a dead shark from the sea and disappointed at his catch, it was after a close examination he suspected that the deceased shark was actually pregnant, therefore performing a C-section on the carcass. The guy was left stunned when a bunch of baby sharks that were surprisingly alive popped right out of its abdomen and spread all over the boat. But collecting them carefully, the fishermen made sure they were all right before sending them back into the ocean. Disguising hippo. Bathing in a river is all fun until you realize there is someone else enjoying it with you. And if by any chance that turns out to be a massive hippo, well, you know what to do. Run, just like these kids did. While playing in the water, they did not seem to notice the camouflaging hippo, so it decided to give them a surprise and peeked its head out of the water, which began the chaos in the water and eventually forced them to jump out of the water. Dolphin approaches diver. From all the dolphin-human interactions, this one's gotta be my favorite. It happened in the Floridian waters when a group of divers spotted a dolphin approaching them. And it was after some time they realized the reason behind its unusual hovering, as the poor mammal was seeking help from the divers due to a fishing line stuck in its pectoral fin. So in truth, the dolphin deliberately reached out to them to end its misery, which eventually ended, as removing the line from the fin, one of them saved the suffering animal. Frustrated orca. No, definitely not entertaining the spectators. This orca is banging its head against the glass barrier in frustration, which hints towards its miserable journey in captivity. Meet the loneliest orca in the world. Living in Marineland Park of Canada, this middle-aged killer whale is telling its despairing story. Although the zoo owners refused to accept their fault at keeping the orca away from the rest of the pod, experts suggested that it needed an immediate rescue from the isolated pool. And thankfully, taking the experts' advice, they brought the orca back to the sea where she really belonged. Hangry seal. This fisherman could have easily met his fate if it was not for the dead fish laying on the floor. After coming out of the water, all the seal needed was a few minutes with its meal, which seemed quite hard for the people standing by, who were continuously teasing it. So when one of them came closer and started scolding the sea lion, it lost its temper and attempted to attack the man, who, although at last saved himself, learned a valuable lesson, while the frustrated seal returned to the fish with its catch. Pearled snake. It's always the frightening experiences that hide the most fascinating stuff. Where usually cobras are considered a living danger and people wish to not encounter one in the wild, this man from India is defying all the odds and deliberately approaching the deadly predator. But actually, he's doing all these efforts for a pearl that supposedly grows in its head, aka the cobra stone, which is essentially a cobra bone that is used by South Asian people as a folk medicine for snake bites and is quite popular in the region. Leap towards death. Okay, so here is a fully grown elk, strong enough to knock down anything standing in its way. Well, apparently not a fence. Because that's what happened here when a guy stopped his car for the herd of elk crossing the road. While the rest of the herd jumped swiftly over the fence, one of them tripped during the leap and died in seconds, which was quite a shock for the onlookers, who did not expect the huge elk to die due to a small fall. But there is a possibility that the elk's neck broke and it died right after the fall, and the irregular movements were actually the muscle spasms due to the sudden fall. Choking pelican saved. Known for their large mouths that can literally swallow almost anything, pelicans are often seen gulping large fish in seconds. But unfortunately, that's not the case with this one, as a fisherman spotted a pelican choking to death because of a small fish that got stuck in its throat. And it was about to pass out when the man reached it and saved the suffering animal from its misery. Killer hornet battle. This isn't some territorial dispute, but an outright fight for survival. When times get tough, killer hornets turn against their own kind, resulting in a ruthless war between two colonies over the resources and the survival of their generation that's now at stake. The attacking hornets catch the opposing colony by surprise using their claws, stingers, and mandibles for beheading, severing limbs, and eating up hornets of other colonies. Being caught unprepared, the defending hornet colony is overrun and conquered. The ones that survived are forced to retreat and accept defeat. Alligator bends fence. The idea of having a fence may seem like a perfect way to keep the gator away, until it defied all the odds. In March 2023, alligator hunters were attempting to catch a gator that was spotted near a middle school in Florida, who instead of giving up after being cornered on the road, decided to go through the fence. It managed to bend the metal bars of a fence by forcing its way through, just as easily as a hot knife through butter. After a brief chase that lasted over an hour, the alligator was tranquilized and apprehended. The entire idea of the fence usually discourages moving past it, which wasn't stopping this gator. Moving into cities. While you were indoors during the 2020 lockdown, these flamingos were having the time of their lives getting a VIP treatment with a private tour at the Texas State Aquarium. Aside from the flamingos, you can see penguins and numerous other wildlife animals who moved into the cities all around the world and were walking down the road with little to no humans around. From mountain goats walking over walls in England to wolves and critically endangered civet cats and spotted zebras crossing in Kerala, India. Alligator charges on kayaker. Giving the kayaker the shock of his life, an alligator came right beneath his canoe, and apparently the canoe got stuck on his back. Thus, unable to move anywhere, the frightened man prayed for his safety and was at last relieved when the gator moved forward. But not every encounter with a gator has such a happy ending. Sometimes it can turn into a deadly experience. That's what happened when this man, whose kayak turned upside down when he accidentally ran into the disguised predator. But luckily, he was able to turn it back over and come out of the water. Frozen fish. Circulating the internet for quite some time, this strange video has been troubling the viewers because it shows several fish frozen inside a large aquarium. Filming this unprecedented event, the woman still asks the people if it was some sort of routine for the fish.
Why are none of these fish swimming?
Nobody could figure out what was actually happening. Some say that it might be because the water was contaminated, while the rest assumed the fish might have ingested something poisonous. but nothing could be said for sure, as even the experts don't know the actual cause behind this bizarre phenomena. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. This image was sent to us by one of our subscribers. Similarly, if you ever wish to know more about an image you come across, just send it on over to us. Who knows, we might even feature it in one of our videos. Well, turns out anything can happen in our weird world. From the fish making an epic fall from the sky, to them literally surviving on land without water. Seems like nothing's impossible. Watch! Here is the incredible fall I was telling you guys about. It really happened in the city of Malta, where the locals experienced several fishes falling from the sky. Although what caused this strange incident remained unknown, people were seen collecting the stranded fishes. And it was not until the experts examined the footage that they revealed what actually happened. Turns out, it was strong winds that were behind this strange incident, as the heavy storm caused the fish to come out of the water and land on the surface. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.